Hey, what's up everybody? It's Gwen and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be showing you how I edit my Instagram photos. Let's get started. So, I'm going to be taking you through the process of how I edit my photos. So I usually take my photos with my camera, which is the camera that I'm using right now, my Canon T5i. I sometimes use my phone, so my iPhone. I have an iPhone 7. However, like we all know that DSLR cameras take better photos than iPhones, especially when I have the iPhone 7 and I don't have iPhone 8 or 10 with the portrait mode. So yes, the best camera that I have is the DSLR camera. And so that's the one that I like to use for most of my Instagram photos. All right, so do you guys like my background, first of all? Yes, yes. Okay, anyway. So this will be the first one. So the first app that I go into is Facetune. Do this one. All right, so let's get started. So first thing I noticed is that this photo has pretty bad lighting. I think the lighting was in and out that day. So the first thing that I do is I go to Filters, Lighting, and then hit Lighter. And this is the feature that I like to use to increase the lighting in my photos, and I think it gives a nice soft look. I feel like messing with the exposure just really blows out everything. I think this gives a nice even lightness to the photo, so I might actually leave it, with that 50, because you can change the amount, but I think I like 50, like what they gave me from the beginning, so I'm gonna stick with that. Then I'm gonna go to smooth. So I'm going to zoom in on my face. My skin actually looks really good today. That day. It looked really good that day. I guess I will do some on my chest here. So I have some spots. So what I'm gonna do is just take my finger and just tap the area. Don't swipe. Yeah, overall, I like to give a very natural look to my photos. I don't like it to look like I've done anything. I like it to look pretty natural. So, yes. Actually looks pretty good. That's like the benefit of using a good camera, like a DSLR. It gives you a really nice photo to start with. So I see some spots above my brow bone. So I'm just gonna tap. Yeah, I have texture, so yeah. And I see some of my cheeks now, actually. So I'm just gonna do some of that. And then I like to zoom out to see if I see anything else. If I don't see anything, I don't do anything more, because I think it looks really obvious when you go ham with the smoothing. I do see some texture on my skin right here, actually. So I'll zoom out, because you can get overwhelmed. But strategically, like only on the texture, don't just put it everywhere. Okay. All right, and it looks really good. So that's before, after. You can barely tell, but if I were to zoom in, you can see the texture on my cheek, on my chest rather, and then I did a little bit on my face. Before, after, before, after, before, after. So that looks good. So next what I'm going to do is the details. So I like to do this to add detail to whatever I'm making the focus of the outfit, and also just things that I do automatically whenever I'm using the Facetune app. So what I want to add details to is my shirt. So I'm just going to go around the edges of it. I'm not gonna like shade the whole shirt. I think that would look a little much. So yeah, just like the edges of it, just so I add detail to the fact that it's like a sweetheart and like it's puffy. So I like to do that. I don't know if this really does anything, but I think it does kind of help bring some attention to some details. I'm also going to do my earring, and I'm also going to do my hair. So I like to do around the outline of my hair, just like around kind of like the halo of my head, just to kind of make my hair pop a little bit. And I think I'll do my lashes. I don't do my eyes per se, but I will do like the outer corners of my lashes. I sometimes do that. And then I might do like the little like tip of my bottom lip. I sometimes do that to make it pop, but I really don't do my face because I think it looks a little weird. So yes, that's what I do. I sometimes use the whitening tool. I don't use it as much as I used to. But sometimes I do use that, but I don't usually use that anymore. And so yes, this is the finished look for the Facetune app. So before, after, before, before, after. So I'm just going to save that to my camera roll. And the next app I'm going to go into is VSCO. So this is a free app as well. I don't use apps that you have to pay for, just so you know. Okay, so this will be the one I'm going to do. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the editing section of this, and I'm going to see what I want to change. It looks a little like blurry, so I'm going to sharpen this like a little bit. My sweet spot is like 0.2 or 0.3. I usually don't do a lot in VSCO. Like I said, I like things to look pretty natural, so I'm only making minor adjustments overall. Okay, next I like to do white balance. I like to sometimes make the picture a little bit cooler, just depending on how it's looking. This actually looks pretty balanced, but what I always do is I do split tone. Basically, I go to the shadows and I make the shadows blue. So I'll see how it looks at 0.5. I usually do 0.2. I like to do this because I remember just like a while back, I learned that Instagram photos get more attention when they have blue tones in it. So I have always changed the shadows in my photos to blue. I don't know if that even does anything, you know, I don't know. But that's what I like to do. That's pretty much it. I might add some grain, but this doesn't look that like too sharp, so I don't think it needs grain. So I'm just gonna go right to the filters. So the filter that I use is C1. Obviously that's too much, so I'm just going to turn that down. And again, I'm gonna see how it looks at 0.5. I usually like to compare 0.5 and 1, and then I'll realize how much I want to do. So that's 0.1, and that's none. There's really no difference, so I might be able to do a 0.5. It just seems to lighten my skin a little bit and make it like a little like orange. I don't know. So I'm gonna do 0.5 kind of looks, I don't know, it looks different. So I'm gonna do 0.2, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna do 0.2. I don't know why, but the coloring looks really weird. So I'm gonna actually do 0.1. So 0.1 is what I use for all of my photos, whether it's an iPhone photo or a DSLR photo. I realized that this filter can look good on all of my photos, and you know, yeah, so this is what I use for all of my photos on my Instagram feed. And let's go back to the adjustments, and I think I'm going to turn down the blue tint. Basically anything I did, I'm going to turn it down because I don't know, it just looks a little weird right now. Okay, I'm going to save that. And then I'm going to save that to my camera roll actual size. And there it is. Okay, so I'm going to just go and compare. That's before, and this is after. Before and after. So that's how I do it. Okay, so now let's do another one. And pretty much doing the same thing. So first I'm going to smooth. So this one doesn't need any adjustment with the light because this one got good lighting. So I'm just going to go right into smoothing. So I'm going to zoom in. As you can see, my skin has some texture going on. So I'm going to be doing a lot more smoothing with this one. But basically the same thing. I'm just going in and just tapping. Ew. My lashes aren't glued on. It's fine. I'm sure you can't see it. Yeah, see, when you zoom out, you can't really see. Okay, so I'm going to just like have my full face in the frame just to see if I see anything else. So as you can see around my like chin and my cheekbones, it's pretty good. At the very top of my cheeks, you can still see some texture. So I'm gonna tap that a little more. I feel like when you zoom out and tap, it adds like more intensity to like the entire area rather than zooming in and just hitting the one area. So I see above my eyebrow, it needs some help. And right there in the highlight on my forehead, bridge of my nose. Okay, next I'm gonna move on to my chest. So I just see some texture there. So again, I'm just tapping, zoom out, tap some more if I want to. Okay, and that looks really, really good. So I'll show you before and after, before, after. before, after. So I really like that. Okay, next is details. So the details I'm going to choose in this photo are my shirt. So I'm going to go tap basically around the edges, like around my shoulders. Look at my neckline. I'm going to zoom in and get my jewelry, so my necklace and my earrings. I'm going to do my bun just a little bit. I think it has a lot more, like it shows up a lot better in this picture. And then as far as my makeup is concerned, I think it's pretty good. Like the makeup isn't the focal point of the photo, so I'm not even gonna bother that. And I don't even know if that does anything. I feel like it does. I don't know why. Before, after. You can't even see anything from that far away. Okay, and that is it, I think. So save that to my camera roll. And then once again, back into Visco. Again, back to the shadows, make those blue. I'm probably gonna do like 0.3. I think I'm gonna do like 0.1. I think with like the lighting in this photo, it's so bright that anything I do to it is just gonna, you know, change it. So I just did a 0.1 on the shadows of blue. I don't think it needs much else. So I'm gonna just go right to the filters, add a C1 filter. Bring that down, kind of see what happens. It just seems to blow out everything. So I'm gonna just do, okay, I like the 0.3. I'm gonna do 0.2. I don't know, it just looked filtered. If anything looks too fake, I tone it down immediately because I just don't like that look. Okay, it looks really good. Okay, save to camera roll, actual size, and there you have it. Okay, so the last step is I put them into my feed planner. So this one, I don't even know how you pronounce it, UNUM, however you pronounce that, that is the app. So what this is a app that connects right to your Instagram app. So you sign in and then they put your feed on here for you. And what I like about this is that you can adjust the feed. So like, you know, on Instagram, no matter what point you are at in your feed, it's always going to show it like this. But you don't really know how it's going to look when you have your whole feed filled up. And so this helps you to kind of plan how it's going to look when you have it perfectly even at the bottom. And then you can see like where you are at in the grid. And I also like this because you can say pick one. Yeah, so you hit that and you can click that. And you can kind of see, so say if your feed is looking a little off and you're like, I think I need to get rid of some, how would it look? You can kind of go like that so that you can see how it would look if you got rid of those photos. I sometimes like to do that if a photo is just kind of like not matching your feed, or if your pictures aren't even and it looks kind of weird. So I like to do that from time to time. So next what I'm going to do is just tap two boxes and add these photos that I just did. And there they are. So I like to do this, and you can shuffle them around. You can, you know, see where you want to put yours next. And that is how I plan my Instagram feed. So how I kind of like to do it is just to see if the photos match the rest of the photos. So if they don't, I might go back and fix something, or it just might not be meant to be. And I either need to wait to post this or just don't post it at all. Maybe I'll post it on my story, or I'll use it for my personal Instagram maybe. So yes, that is the end of my Instagram editing video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And also be sure to hit your notification button so you can be notified every time I upload on my channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.